Okay, everybody, welcome back to the Lech Leich Musar podcast. We continue with the Pele Yoeitz. We are on page 565 in the Art Scroll. We are on day 205 in Hachzik. Today we begin the parak called Darshan, a public speaker, and earlier we discussed how a speaker, should prepare his discourse. We spoke about coming off arrogant, and there's a gaiva issue, and there's Baal Peh, and we spoke about that earlier a couple of weeks ago, and here we're going to focus on the speaker himself. How great is a public speaker who speaks to the masses and makes an effort to aid others in their spiritual journey. But a person must know that he requires many conditions, prerequisite conditions, to make sure that his avodah, everything's in avodah, to make sure it's done properly. First of all, if you're a public speaker, you should listen to the words of the Pele Yoeitz. He must precede all of his drashas, his discourses, with a prayer that he should be saved. Tinatzel megaiva, he shouldn't fall into the trap of gaiva, of haughtiness, umayin hara, from evil eye, and from other devar of peiros, that he shouldn't say foolish things. Things should resonate, things should be strong and substantial and actually moving and inspire growth. He should pray that he has a tongue for teaching, and that Hashem should grant him the ability to speak words with a pleasant tone and with clear articulation, in such a way that his words will be pleasing to his audience, similar to a bride who finds special favor in the eyes of his husband. So that's how a person should want to talk. He should talk in a way that he should be perceived in an emistic way, pleasant and sweet. The second thing, the second important point, the second point, a speaker, he shouldn't be matshech the olam. It shouldn't be annoyingly long-winded. He should be concise and to the point. Why? For it is better to speak a little with fear of Hashem than a great treasure accompanied by turmoil. So what he's saying over here is that a person should keep it short and sweet and to the point, and that's a big rule in anything in life, but you want to build anticipation, you want to speak or do whatever it is that you're doing impactfully and make excitement for the future. And the third is that he should be vigilant regarding the honor of others. That he shouldn't chas v'shalom humiliate their people, he shouldn't embarrass them through his words. He should be careful that he never speaks falsehoods about the people or point out their shortcomings and never come to prosecute them. And even when he does, if he's coming there to give a Masa Shmuz before Yom Kippur and Ila Jasha, and he has to offer some type of rebuke, some type of chastisement, some type of Musar, he should always include himself among them. He should never be Purish himself that he's the better guy, he's on the top and they're on the bottom. Never. Rather, he should always say something like, the path upon which we are traveling, he's with them, and we're all one, and let's walk together in the way of Hashem. And he must also be cautious to avoid suspicion that one who hears his word shouldn't think that he's coming to promote himself and just be self-invested. And therefore, what's the eitzah for that? He must therefore not speak too much about the obligation to give tzedakah. If a person's getting up and he's talking about being mechabed tamidei chachamim, and he's talking about tzedakah and how important it is, how virtuous it is, and what a schus it is, then people are going to get the feeling that there's self-investment over here, that he's just doing this in order that he should get the money. So the Pele Yoeitz says, even if it's true, even if a person, maybe he has to be mefanas from that, he's getting paid to speak publicly, but the point is, he shouldn't come off in a way where it's directly signaling to the people that that's what he's there for. Do it in a discreet way, do it in a quiet way, but to come off like that, that's something a person should definitely stay as far away as he possibly can. And now the Pele Yoeitz concludes this Ois Dalid, which is Darshan, but concluding the entire Ois Dalid, his last Musar, his last guidance for Ois Dalid of a darshan is one should review his lecture before he speaks. He should always first review and arrange the discourse and make sure that it's organized, make sure that it flows, make sure that it's in a manner that people are going to be familiar with it, that it's going to be able to resonate with people. Why? There's sometimes people that when they go through it and they review it, they realize they shouldn't say this, they should skip over that, or the people aren't going to understand it. And if he takes the time to properly edit, sift, and distill in a way that's going to be the most resonant and the way that the olam, the kihila, the people listening are going to be able to actually process it, and the point of the whole thing is for them to grow. So if he focuses on that, then he's not going to have to stop in the middle and start processing and organizing. Because doing such a thing, getting up, it's embarrassing. You look foolish. It's disgraceful for a Torah scholar to be doing that in public. A wise man may hear and increase his learning to follow these steps and give his lectures, to give his drushes in the most optimal manner. How great is something said in its proper time. So if he formulates it, he works on it, he works it through and gets it down to what's really need to be said, and he doesn't put himself in a situation where he can look distasteful and he can look disgraceful to the olam because he didn't come prepared, then davar b'itay matav, then it's going to be perceived properly, it's going to inspire people. And with that we conclude this section of Ois Dalid. We finished the parak, and Be'ez Hashem tomorrow we'll be moving on to Ois Hey, which begins with Hillel praising Be'ezer Hashem. Looking forward.